read of that.
I read. There you go. One way to say it.
But let's cover this because I will say this in the same breath. I'm going to give kudos to Republicans and Democrats working together to try to come up with a solution to what they perceive to be a problem. All right. Now, there are some good things in the bill that I'm about to read off. There are actually a lot of good things. There are good things in this bill. There are. All right. Still, what I said just now stays true to me, at least. To me, you may disagree. You may. I don't know. Probably not. But there's some things in this bill I think we need to watch for. And I think it might trigger some memories of recent things. I say recent, about 20 years ago. The last time we looked at amnesty a lot. I just don't want this to become a slippery slope. But let's dive in. So, new immigration bill, definitely making some noise in Capitol Hill. It's from, let's see here, Republican Maria Elvira. Yes. Salazar. I like that middle name. Republican out of Florida. And Veronica Escobar. Okay. Democrat out of Texas. Okay. So the article's from Fox News, and the bill's called the Dignity Act of 2025. Now, the reason why that bill warrants such a sarcastic tone there, anytime I see politicians use the word dignity and people, I regards to people, I don't know why. Now, I'm all about human dignity, and I'm all about humans receiving dignity. Absolutely. I'm just saying, just my personal experience and my opinion, when I hear politicians use that word for whatever reason, it's usually followed by some liberal left-wing propaganda crap, okay? And or big and growing government. That just my experience and my humble 2 cents. Yeah. Take it for what it's worth. So what's this bill do? Well, it offers legal status, but not citizenship. That is a important distinction. Sorry, but it offers legal status, not citizenship, to certain illegal immigrants who've been here since before 2021. I think that's very telling. I mean, that's before President Biden. Okay,
it's interesting.
It's interesting. I think not. No one's told me, but I would imagine the thought process about that would be, well, he's the one that let 10 to 15 million illegal immigrants in that we know of, and that's where the problem was. We had the border under control under Trump, or at least a hell of a lot more under control, so we were okay. So before 2021, but it's going to be applying to everybody though, every illegal immigrant. So we'll keep diving in. So it's getting buzz mainly because it's being framed as tough on the border and pro-worker. But it also gives long-term illegals a chance to stick around legally. So let's dive in. All right, here's the facts, key facts at least. The bill lets illegal immigrants who came before 2021 apply for 7 years of legal status with work permits. 7 years. Whew. What am I looking at?
Nothing.
Oh, cool. Oh, I could see ourselves.
You can see the chat.
Oh, great. Oh, yes. It does. Okay, who's that? Liberty Lover. You're right. There's a chat on Rumble. And Liberty, you're right. Sounds like amnesty to me. It does. But let's keep talking because, again, there are portions of the bill that us conservatives can all wrap our arms around. All right, so the first key fact, just so you know, illegal immigrants coming in under 2021, before 2021, with work permits can apply for legal status for 7 years. All right, that's definitely a change. They would pay restitution, check in with DHS, restitution if it applied. Check in with DHS, and keep a clean record. That's good. Their status could be renewed also. So I'm assuming another 7 years or 7 years at a time. There's no citizenship path, as we discussed, no federal benefits. I believe that now. I believe that now, and that's in the bill. I mean, I get it, but boy, I could see that changing. And no taxpayer costs. Yeah, I can see that. And here's the key. They say it's not taxpayer costs because it's all paid by immigration fees. Okay, so a self-sustaining model. I like that. I mean, if it's doable, hey, it's on paper. Congress, now they haven't balanced the budget in 100 and something years, but boy, They can tell us it's cost neutral. When you can't add, how can I? Anyway, or maybe it's subtract. Yeah, no. They
can't subtract.
They got adding down pat. They know
multiplication as well.
Yes, multiplication, but they do not know how to subtract. Oh my goodness. All right, again, guys, we got that chat live and well on rumble.com. Go to the Josh Guillory Show. All right, so the bill also invests in workforce training, apprenticeships for American citizens. Don't know why that's in the immigration bill, but okay, cool. It does have already 20 plus bipartisan co-sponsors. This is definitely a bipartisan approach, or at least there are Republicans working with Democrats. That's how I'm going to take it. You fill in the gaps as you see fit. But Salazar says it's no amnesty, it's no handouts, and it's no citizenship. Well, great. All right, guys, we're going to take a tiny little break. And when we get back, let's continue talking about this bill. Again, has some good things in it, has some things maybe we need to talk about. All right, stick around. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Josh Guillory Show, broadcasting live from the Bill and Bear Studios right here in Indiana. Hometown lawyers, Bill and Bear. I'm laughing because now Jamie works with me all day. Okay, and we do different things. Okay, and I can't hide it. I can't get away with anything between him and Benny at the office. I can't get away with anything.
Well, nor should you.
No, exactly. Checks and balances. Just tiny. All right. Can I have a lunch break? Can I start? I call this my lunch.
Not my job.
I said, no, people, do you take lunch? Yes, from 3 to 5. That's how I feel. I just come here and have fun with the audience.
That's what I do. There's not much time to eat.
No, it's not. And this does not work. And we appreciate you every day. Every day, our dear audience, you are the one. We have it easy. We just appreciate you. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching on Rumble. That's great. Rumble.com. We see you out there. We see you out there. And I've been thinking our friends in Missouri that listen in at hospital, and our truck driver in Montana. And there's others. If I'm missing, I apologize.
Bobby, wherever he went.
It doesn't apply to Mr. Bobby, what I'm about to say. To my folks listening up north, okay? The heat index to the studio area, 105.
105.
So you cool weather and think it's hot, just come on down to Town Square Media and it's the South Louisiana.
It's not a dry heat.
No.
It's not a dry heat ever, so just prepare yourself.
All right, let's get on this immigration bill, all right? Okay, anytime we hear words immigration reform out of Washington, our conservative radar should start shake. It should it should be really, really going up. But we've seen this movie before. Whether it was amnesty in the 80s, George W. Bush's guest worker push. Remember that? Mm-hmm. How'd that go? Amnesty. Or it was a path to amnesty. Gang of Eight under Obama. Our Secretary is one of those. Gang of Eight. It always in the same way. The border stays open. Democrats get more body in the system, in the voting booth, and the American worker gets. That's history. That's history. History doesn't mean that the future will be the same. We either learn from history, keep the things that we're doing good, don't do the things we're not doing good. It's that easy. Don't make it hard. But the bill has some serious red meat in it. I'll highlight that just so we're informed. Okay, my gut instinct is to be very concerned because again, why do we need an immigration bill when we've just started enforcing immigration law? I'm not saying the 7-year thing is a bad thing. I'm not saying I would be open to listening to more on that. Okay, but let's go through what us conservatives would like. All right, verify. Okay, I'm cool with that. Finally, that should have been nationwide 20 years ago. We went into the 21st century. It's kind of like, Bud, when we took off. You couldn't pay taxes. You couldn't pay taxes in the city of Lafayette online before we took
tickets or traffic.
It was like, are we in 2020?
It's crazy, and
I can't make that stuff up, man.
It's like you realize, for example, we could not establish a system for IEs. Like it had to take how long?
20 years.
A hot minute. We've been trying to just do a simple program.
Still don't know why the federal government has evolved in state IEs.
Well, I understand as far as being able to use it across the country and stuff.
But we don't need it. Privileges and immunities clause, the Constitution. A driver's license. No, driver's license is a public act. And our Constitution says each state must honor the public acts of the other. I don't know why the federal government, and where does driver's license fall in the Constitution? I see it anywhere.
It's your card and ensure that it's valid. I mean, if you have programs across the country, that way it's not, you're from Montana, let me pull Montana system to verify your address. I think it's a good thing. I don't usually think federal, is great, but in this case, it makes sense.
The people that said the deal, they thought it was a good idea too. Who had started Social Security thought that was a good idea. The person that did the Social Security the first time and said this one time and it's for good. All these other programs probably were good. All these agencies were probably started for good. But the federal government is whether we like it or not in Washington. I didn't make this document. The federal government is a government of limited power. It don't feel that way, does it? It don't look that way. But it is. And go look at the 10th Amendment of our Constitution. It says all powers not granted to the federal government in this Constitution is reserved to states. Okay? That's where we get states' rights. The issue of driver's license ain't in the dang federal Constitution. Now, maybe the issue be national security, because that's what the federal government fall back on. Most things, that and Democrats fall back on public health. It's just one. The parties both use, they both use the same thing. They call different things a lot of times. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Now, maybe from a national security standpoint, you could say, we have, I don't know. I just think it's all silly.
I just don't.
I just think it's all silly, guys. I mean, you can get a passport. That's a federal document. So for security purposes, there's your Uniform Act. I mean,
they're just fooling around, trying to do some craziness.
Let me go with the red meat. Okay, there are things. I want to be fair. Be fair to the authors. All right, verify. Good. We're in the 21st century. Can release, it's on, and it will be codified in this bill. That's big. That's a big thing. Good job. Border security. I don't know what to say on that. It's all fluff. Border security is what the President of the United States says it is in this day and age, because we are living like children in Washington. We can't work together on anything. This is it. I'm congratulating at least folks on different parties at least trying to work on something. Wish they would have picked a different topic. Just wait a few years after we started enforcing the current laws, give those a chance. Also, again, no citizenship, no benefits, $8. That's pretty rare in a bill coming out of these. So I wanted to note that because I think that is nerdy.
I don't get the whole $8. I don't see that. No.
See, that's the part where I said they don't know how to do math. Because you put that in a bill, that's just that's like a very informal forecast. CEO is going to eat that up. And other metrics is probably going to eat that up. Maybe not. But I do like the theory that fees on immigration will sustain itself and pay for itself. And I don't know how you measure that. Right now, there has to be a measurable. You can. You shouldn't put that in effect. You shouldn't put that policy in effect if you can. Also, restitution payments are applicable. Good conduct checks. No, this
restitute. Like, what does that even mean? What are they going to pay?
Well,
restitution.
Whatever the government says they owe. I mean, like, do they have a misdemeanor crime or simple property damage, and they have that pending? Is it restitution to the federal government for immigration?
What if they're here legally because they're working? They can make money, so that just crime in the country legally.
I don't know, but that's good. But it also recognizes Trump been honest about. America needs a controlled temporary labor force. I get that. Not a free-for-all. And that's the difference. Farmers and ranchers need hand in the field. We get that. Trump get that. We get that. The difference now is Trump wants structure, not chaos. Accountability, not blind hiring. We've seen where that's got us. Enforcement, not roll the dice, beg, hope. That's where we're coming from. All right, when we get back, I want to talk about a few things we should probably look at in this bill. All right, stick around. It's going to be great. Phone lines are going to be wide open. back to Josh Guillory Show, broadcasting live from the Illinois Studios in Louisiana. All right, phone lines are open, guys. 222-1542. You call, bring the heat. We're talking about illegal immigration. We're talking about a comprehensive immigration plan that's being discussed in Washington. All right. So we went over things that are good in the bill. It's not all bad. It's actually the stuff that we just went over. We have some really good stuff there. All right. Here's a few things that I would just think about. Okay. All right. Once you get legal status, the political pressure starts to build. We see this. Next comes green cards, then citizenship, then chain migration. We've seen this. That's my only concern. I look at this bill as a slippery slope that's not needed right now, even with all that good stuff there. Or maybe just put that in there. You got power. Jeez.
I think they should. I would personally like to go back and look at all the I thought we had migrant work. I thought that was already established, and if it wasn't, what the hell is wrong with y'all?
Now remember, I'm just call for this. These are two Congress folks.
Oh.
And I applaud them for trying to work together. I do. I'm just giving you my. You know the minute Democrats get a foothold in that process, they flip a conservative bill to a demographic power grab instantaneously. That's their labor. They've shown to us. And while the bill says no benefits of handouts, I know what it says, and that's why I paused on it. We've heard that before. Have we not heard that before? All those gang aid, all the worker programs, we hear it all the time.
It's the same bill, just brought back with different names.
Exactly. It's always the same points.
Call it different, use different words that are synonyms for the original.
But we heard it before. Just wait until one liberal judge says denying Medicaid to someone with legal status is discriminatory. Boom, floodgate open. Does that sound like it wouldn't happen? Look at we have a law now saying that there's no more nationwide injunctions, and we still have judges in the bird. They're skirting around it.
What this is?
Class action.
We're like, let's take all immigration bills. Let's run them through GPT. Let's tell it. Listen, Chat GPT. I want you to spout a ball. That's a bit different from the previous, but really, but that a lot of people might like, and would make people happy, and that's what that.
Yeah, exactly. The article I was reading tries to paint Trump's and immigration enforcement as a problem. The problem is enforcement. It was, but we're actually enforcing. It's the 30 years of lawlessness that forced his hand. And I'm talking 30 years prior to 2016.
The Wild Wild West.
You think? And they're tired of being told their hearts for wanting law and order. I'm so tired of feeling pressure of whatever they want to feel. Like we should feel guilty for protect our families. We should feel guilty for wanting to protect innocent teenage girls and boys and kids and younger than that being sex trafficked. I don't owe an apology to any of these folks.
Got so excited about it. Sex trafficking.
Is that what it was? All right. Hey, we're going to stay on the topic, but we'll switch gears a little bit, okay? Stay on the topic of immigration. And, let's talk about these no bonds and things like that. There's been some movement. So, all right, let's go to the phone lines first. Hey, what you got? Bring the heat, baby.
I'm glad y'all talking about this, because maybe I'm a painter, and we got illegals here in my house's job, because they did $50 cheaper square foot than my boss can, because he pays insurance at. What I would like to do is when you're going to start arresting these companies, they hire these illegals. They don't have to pay no workers' comp. They don't have to pay no, and they got to pay insurance, and they get paid cash. They gotta match their taxes, nothing like that. When they come up with plans to, you want to be illegal, you want illegals, we'll start paying taxes. Then the people that's hiring them match the taxes that my bosses got to match for me.
Boom.
And that's what I gotta say. Hang up and let y'all talk that, and y'all have a great day.
Eddie, I think Ed just hit the nail on the head.
Well, they did. They arrested
yeah.
3 police chiefs, a former police chief, and a business owner for fraud. The police working with business owners, staging robberies, pitting the illegals as victims.
Yeah.
So they had amnesty and could stay here because they're witnesses.
Wow.
It's in like what an elaborate way to do it.
But to be more direct on what he's saying, I believe Trump is doing that. I believe that's enforcement. I mean, well, we know it is, but I do believe they're actually.
Was LG going to get hemmed up for hiring illegals?
Hey, how do you let that happen? How do you let your go hire illegal?
How do they get sort of retribution?
You won't hear about it in the media. They're hook, line, and sink the Blinkos. But I mean, like, dude, how does that happen? Anyway, but it's gonna come
dance.
And you can't this stuff if you don't know if you're gonna cry.
Shut down that pot farm. I hope not. Well, it'd just be terrible for those people. They need it.
Now let's talk about no bonds.
Yes.
So our Congress plays footsie with earned dignity bills.
Pussyfooting around.
President Trump is turning the bolts, thank God. All right, so this is a CBS News article. It's reported that ICE just dropped illegal immigrants. Used to have bond hearings. Wow. Here we go, right? Illegal immigrants used to get bond. Used to? What do you mean used to get bond hearings?
Sir, is that in white citizens?
No, well, okay, we'll talk about that. I'll talk about that in a little bit. Again, that's definitely left is right, but I got some for you. There's no rights being violated here. So bond hearings for illegal aliens, illegal immigrants. That's over. Unilaterally from the executive branch. Now, if you crossed illegally, you're detained. Okay? Under this executive action, you stay detained. No more bonds. No more bond relief. No more activist judge cutting people loose. Immunity, murderers, rapists, all that stuff. You broke the law, you sit and you wait.
Bond something, is that a requirement?
No.
So like if just I arrested for something, beating up a dog, which I would never do, but
terrible example you use for beating up dog. What that dog do to you?
I don't know. For slapping someone. I don't know. Say I arrested. Am I automatically entitled to bond? So that's not okay. It's not an automatic thing. Have to take bond.
So there's a process. There's a hearing. There's 22-hour hearing. You go in front of a neutral and detached entity, either a magistrate or a commissioner or a judge, and here's facts and circumstances in a very limited capacity. If probable cause was there, so there's due process. That's a probable cause lower, not beyond reasonable doubt. It's almost the polar opposite.
So you want me to ask him now?
Well, let me get to this because this might answer some questions.
Okay.
But you're being a good teammate student today.
Oh.
Hey,
be here another hour.
All right, so let's talk about facts. All right, ICE. This is how we got here. Okay, so there's 1990s immigration laws. All right, Section 235, the INA to be specific. Now, ICE reinterpreted the 1990s immigration laws, and they interpreted these laws to mandate detention for an illegal entry. All right, here's the kicker: past or present. Past or present, yes. And it used to be only for recent border crossers or criminal. That's what it used to apply for, this no bond thing. Now, under this reinterpretation, anyone any person came into our country illegally and was never formally admitted can't get a bond hearing. There was. All right, so let's pick up this up and week back. We'll wrap up. Oh, Jerry, we're going to come right to you. All right, my man. Back to the Josh Guillory Show, broadcasting live from Bill and Bear Studios right here in Indiana. and Abear, hometown lawyers. You got legal questions, call those guys and gals. They're going to take care of you. All right, so back. Let's wrap up this topic about the ICE agency in the executive branch that interprets the law. Now our founders, probably not how our founders envisioned it, but 200 years of bureaucracy will get you there. But there's also case law that supports that interpretation. That's interpretation, and there's a recent Chevron rule that's been overruled. So, whole bunch of things. But the bottom line, judges no longer get to decide. Not at that point in the jungle. Just got arrested. ICE will determine that going forward. ICE can roll someone out under this action. So the shift came because this is a change. This is a change probably 25, 30 years of enforcement incident. Or lack thereof, should I say. This shift came after a legal review by DHS and the Department of Justice. This is the administration following the law as it's written. Very important. I don't know why we deviate from it. I really don't. I just willy-nilly, like, hey, here's the law. We're going to just did a reform bill. Out of the blue. How to enforce the law first? Jeez. Give the law a chance. And thank Trump's one big, beautiful bill. Although I didn't like the deficit stuff, I does have $75 billion in funding. We got a lot of stuff to do. 10,000 new deportation officers, room for over 100,000 detainees. Yeah, I think there's capacity to fulfill the intent of the administration.
Well, we don't really need all that capacity.
True.
Border customs were down to zero in last month. I mean,
crazy.
When you think about it, do we really need that much more capacity, or do we just really need to stick with enforcement?
Stick with the enforcement, but it's good to have the capacity in case you need, because there are 15 million illegals coming here.
Concentration cane, like cages.
Put them in cages.
Man, everybody put
what? Anyway, all right. I have no problem with it. Okay, this is how you secure a nation. And while some Republicans tinker around with dignity programs and temporary work passes, Trump is enforcing the law the way Congress wrote 30 years ago. You enter illegally, you go to detention. No more slipping through cracks. No more game of tag with immigration judges. This is how you fix catch and release. This is how you end the magnet. Trump is adding ICE with money, manpower, and a legal framework that works. This isn't talk. Done that. This is force. Little force. Sovereign force. And to the point earlier, Jimmy, all persons on soil are entitled to due process. Every single person that's illegal alien to citizens of the United States, we're all entitled to due process. But the question is, what process is due? So, because due process, this would be very crystal clear. Due process doesn't mean a free pass out of detention. It means your day in court, not your choice of hotel. And that's what the Democrat policy was during immigration detention charges. I got to start it in there to the country they came from, and they want them since the third country like Trump's.
Just to pay for big old blocks of hotel rooms during COVID.
What was the answer?
For the homeless.
And what was the answer? Thank you.
They get the money.
I would say, yeah, do it. Don't do it in our city. Yeah.
So, question the whole detention thing. So, and your lawyer, you correct me if I'm wrong. It's my understanding if a regular citizen is up, they can't be held past a certain amount of time without any sort of something happening, a hearing or
72 hours. That's not always 2 hours.
Is that the case with in this instance?
It is.
Man, so dumb, y'all lawyers. Screw up insurance, y'all. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
This lawyer's fighting for
I know. Just
yeah, no, that's a great legal answer, all you lawyers out there. It depends. No, really does. Can you ask a great question in a minute?
good answer.
No, again. Anyway, no, it's like a state crime. They'll put them through 72 hours, but ICE operates under different rules, immigration under different rules.
So that's 72 hours. Law.
No, in this right, yes, it is law, but this doesn't apply to illegal aliens. And this law that we're talking about now. Most of the time, we're doing state law, immigration federal law, and Congress wrote a law. We're talking right now, 30 years ago, that's being ignored. President Trump comes in and says, "Wait a minute, there's actually a law on books that does this and this." Here's the thought: why don't we interpret that law like it's written? What a novel idea! And yes, that's wonderful. And look, if you think this extreme, go out the ranchers, the border towns, the families who've been dealing with all this for decades while Washington danced around the issue. Go talk to those guys. Trump didn't get them. He delivered. And I'm passionate about this because I'm sick and tired of these elites on both sides, both parties, calling the same thing, like you said, a different name every 8-10 years. Is that our MO now?
Every admin.
It's silly. All right, stick around. Out of 2 around the corner. It's gonna be great. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to hour number 2 of the Guillory Show. I remain your very grateful host. And in studio with me still, my main man, John.
I am.
Wake up, Miss.
I'm It's time to go.
Wellness Wednesday or later today with Dr. Kevin, Dr. Kevin Wellness Clinic. I talked to Dr. Kevin today on monthly, follow up.
Mm-hmm.
It's all good. Always informative. Got to work on a few things.
I got my next week.
Good luck.
Hopefully, it's all good.
Good luck. Good luck. But we appreciate Dr. Kevin. All right. Let's switch. Let's stay on the same topic, but a different angle, different thoughts here. The Trump administration gun deporting violent criminals. That's convicted murderers, rapists, child predators. Old folks probably want,
The hombres.
yeah. Folks you wouldn't invite to your church. Well, maybe church. Your backyard barbecue.
Good.
You're good? Well, if I just ended right there, there would really not be too much new news. But the news is that it's putting them to third countries. So, not their countries of origin, third countries. This time, the specific incident that the reference 5 criminals report to Eswatini. Have you ever been to Eswatini?
What is that?
It's a small nation in Southern Africa.
What?
Eswatini.
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 Never heard of. I'll be honest with you, I've never heard of that.
Like Eswatini.
What is next?
It's a small nation in Southern Africa.
I don't ever remember that from geography class. Oh, I see.
But let's be honest. When you're in geography class, that country was around.
Is it near Djibouti? What? The country in Africa, Djibouti? It's my duty, please, Djibouti.
So let's now they're going to third country though, because their home country refused to.
It's silly. It's real silly.
So try with you don't gotta go home. Here. So the 5 deportees came from Cuba, Jamaica, Laos, Vietnam, and Yemen. All had been convicted of violent crimes in the United States, including, by the way, murder, homicide, and child rape.
How does my team feel about all this?
I often wondered, and do you get clearance to land, like the land strip?
I guess they're it.
I think they just roll up there, see them in the desert, and like, here we go.
They said they were transferred to the.
Here's a bottle of water.
Small.
So some countries refuse to accept them, calling them too dangerous.
So for folks who Eswatini is the country formerly known as Swaziland. Swaziland.
You have?
Slightly bigger than Connecticut. I've heard of Swaziland. I didn't know they changed their a weird name. I forgot.
With the population in Connecticut,
it's slightly bigger size than Connecticut, about 1.2 million people.
Easy to overshoot the runway.
The king.
Oh, okay.
The king of Eswatini. I
wonder how he feels about it.
Wonder if he had a jet. He might just sell it. I'm trying to give it to him.
So, Eswatini confirmed the men were, you're right, they did confirm that they were placed in secure facilities with other serious offenders, and the country will work towards sending them back to their original homelands. They've already said, they ain't coming here. They're your problem now.
Well, that Mayor Garcia guy, was it? Or Honduras? He's from El Salvador.
The Democrat congressman were down there and
y'all pay for that, by the way.
Oh yeah, that was on your dime.
By the way, political statements on your dime.
True that. Gang members have deported to El Salvador. They might fit right in. Others from Asian Africa have gone to Costa Rica, Panama, South Sudan.
Why not?
Now, Supreme Court recently lifted lower court, just pile press. They lifted a lower ruling that forced ICE give extended notice in process before third country deportation. Thank you, Supreme Court, for interpreting the law as written. Man, a lot of activism. I mean, I never thought we'd see that.
I just love her. Like, you know what? We'll send wherever,
Yeah,
as long as they ain't here.
I love that, man.
Y'all go wherever.
It's true, because it's not people of America's fault that these guys broke law and came to our country legally. These guys are sitting in jail. Someone's paying that. It's us, okay? So, rotting someone else's jail.
You know what I don't get? All these Democrats, like, oh, America's the worst. America on the ice this, ice that. Well, have you ever stopped and asked yourself why people are trying to come here?
Thank you. If we're so bad, why do we have to build a wall to keep ways out?
If you want to rosy around a wall, you're encouraging those folks to go to Ireland.
I'm telling you, Ireland's taking her back. I'm telling you, they're going to reject her.
I just know their immigration.
And then her country of origin will reject her too.
It would be awesome if she overstayed her Irish visa and became an illegal in Ireland.
That would
she popped too many quaaludes to the expiration date.
Jamie.
Yeah, I digress.
So now, under Top Line's new policy, deportees with final removal orders can be sent to third countries with minimal notice, just 24 hours or even 6 hours in urgent cases. Hey, this is a national security issue. I don't know why there's not bipartisan urgency. There's a few things that we should bipartisan on. All right. Secure our borders. Don't spend more money than we have unless it's an emergency, and then absolutely have a payment plan that makes it a priority. Keep us safe. Keep our economy rolling. Get the federal government the hell out the way. If we did that, I don't know why. Get the federal government out the way. That's the fundamental difference between parties. Can we agree to all other stuff? I can't agree to secure our border. You can't agree to not spend more money than we have coming in. But I mean, look, Republicans didn't either. That's the national debt. Whoa,
they passed a decision bill by the vice president.
Yes, it took the vice president with the Republican majority in the Senate. It took the vice president to break to cut a measly $9.4 billion from the budget.
You know what the sticking point was? A corporation for public broadcasting. Susan Collins, you're a Democrat. Come on.
You need to switch.
Are becoming independent. Do it.
Well, Lieberman probably was more conservative than Susan Collins.
I mean, she might well caucus with the Democrats.
She doesn't? Hey, really? It's the same cast of characters.
I love her.
Do they?
I guess she represents the will of the people of Maine because she's been there forever.
Yeah, that's probably the problem. So ICE isn't required to ask these folks if they're afraid, okay? Up to the T to speak if they hear torture or harm in these third countries, because a lot of folks are going to say, well, you're sent to these third countries and all. Okay, well, you have an opportunity to be heard. Again, not our problem. I got 99 problems, and that crap ain't one. You know?
And those countries aren't going to be like, oh, we have to have these programs. You know, we have to set them free, release them, and give them amnesty. No, they'll be like, you see your butt jail, and you ain't getting out.
That's right. They even say the word.
They might.
All right. Brown, we'll be right back. Josh Guillory, broadcasting live from the Bill A. Studios right here in Panhandling, capital of the world, Lafayette, Louisiana. But your hometown lawyers, go give those guys a call. Ben A. They'll take care of you. What?
It's time for some high-level analysis.
Well, let's just dive right in. All right, so talk about all this stuff with ICE. We're talking deporting violent criminals, murders, homicide, rape. So, yeah. Violent criminals be deported to third country, not their home countries. And why not? Well, their home countries said they don't want them either. That's why we sent them y'all.
That's so goofy.
There might be some truth to that. All right, this is power, though. Okay, not power in like a bad way. This is a leader, Trump, who is empowering his subordinate leaders, his agency directors, to use the power they have for good. My personal experience, 95% of the people, at least that we dealt with that were elected, they understood they had power, but the power was not being, at minimum, not being used for the constituents that they serve, in my opinion. All right, I'm just going to leave it at that because there are some good ones. There's some really good ones too, man. And that's motivating to me. It's not 100%, but it's enough. And I'd never understand. If you're in office, use the power, use it to do the thing you said you would do when you run for office. And what's the worst that'll happen? You don't get reelected? Move on. It's good. Okay. You put your head on the pillow. That's my theory. And I just don't understand how more public servants don't have that attitude. And maybe I just forced myself to be naive. Maybe I just forced myself to look, because you try to look good and all.
There is good.
Yeah. Well, all God's children, there's good in there. Somewhere in there. But I don't know. I'm going to continue. This is my choice to continue to be naive because I want to see the good in folks. But that doesn't mean we don't have work. Put a guard up and mark them when they need to be marked and understand who they are. God calls us all to love, folks. Anyway, here's what this means, though. All this, again, it is power, but it's power being used to help America. Thank God. This is policy, and it's policy backed by teeth, not some politician making a great speech, some luncheon, some brunch. If you murder a country and your home nation won't take back, all President Trump is saying is we're not shrugging, we're not budging, and they're not staying here. Isn't that what we want? Like my Democrat friends, you dying on the Hill for murders?
They don't know what they want.
It's true.
Keeping up with the Joneses. It's flavor of the month.
Yeah.
It's
a part of identity. It is a party without it. I will tell you that. I will agree. But Trump, he's calling up other nations. Get it done, man. He's using leverage. He's communicating. Finally, we're actually running immigration enforcement like a sovereign country would run immigration enforcement. Enforce the law on the books. And again, but it's not like we're talking about offensive. These are human monsters. Their own countries labeled them too dangerous to come home. Well, you weren't invited here, and you shouldn't stay here. I'm glad the president didn't blink at stuff. Oh, you don't want them? Cool. Well, he just picked the phone. He worked the deals. He got them off our soil, got them off our dime. No longer a threat to our families here in Louisiana and across the United States. This affects everybody. But this is how a country takes back control. You think ICE was scary under Obama?
Didn't even hear about ICE. What was ICE?
You think the deportation meant something or Biden?
It was deportation.
It was.
Bring them in.
It was important. A new level. This is Trump showing the world that America isn't the world's dumping ground. We're not. We have immigration laws. You should respect that. We respect other people's sovereignty, and we expect them to respect ours. Every president should have that standard. Republican, Democrat. That's not a hard one. I mean, is that a hard one?
No, I think they should all be charged with election fraud.
Which one?
Biden and his administration. Because I firmly believe a lot of the reason why they were just allowing or even bringing in illegals was to push the election. I mean, what we're doing, they were letting them vote.
Well, and yeah, exactly. Some states were letting. That's why that federal, like I said, and they passed the House. I'm sure it passed the Senate. Only U.S. citizens can vote in U.S. elections. Every state have that.
I thought that was the law from the time I was little. Like, I always thought it was the law. You had to be a citizen vote. You had to be a teen American citizen.
I thought so too.
How was it not the law?
And us in Louisiana, Louisiana really done a job. These, all this stuff. I joked with them, so they're tired of joking my precinct. You know, like, oh, what twice? Anybody at my precinct's cringing like this corny dude.
You're like, such a dad. Like that epitome right there. Just need the gut.
What's on that?
Jay Lafayette says, getting compensated for housing the unwanted.
Yeah.
In the land of Cecilia says, if y'all, if you're a good lad, gentlemen, Chuck Schumer 2009, and Kill Switch is reminding us that it was time for a higher level.
Very much, and that's what we're doing. Yeah, I tell you, and also check us out. You can miss there. That's sad. It's running. But look, this position from President Trump, this whole I don't care where the hell you go, long as you're not staying here on our dime and or terrorizing our families and businesses, great. That's your home country. Wonderful. It's not, we just don't care. Just don't care.
Enjoy your stay.
I mean, you not only did you commit a felony by entering our country or staying in our country longer than you legally can, so you're here illegally. That's bad enough. But you've committed murder, homicide, rape. Like, get the hell out of here. You know what I mean?
Why are we even arguing?
Yeah. Like, but there are fighting this very and Republicans. There are some Republicans that absolute rhinos. I don't know if they're rhinos or elites or both. Anyway, this is what every American family wants to hear. I am getting these guys not even off the streets, but off our soil. That's what that mom wants to hear.
No pussyfooting around, damn it.
That murders don't stay. I want to hear that. We want to hear that. I'm comforted by this news. You know that chances that if you brutal a child, you get put on a plane and never come back. That's what we want. And that's what Trump is doing. And I'm grateful for that. All right, guys, we are going to open the phone lines here, 232-1542, 847-666-6607. I wait to hear from you. broadcasting live from A-Bear Studios right here in Lafayette, Louisiana. Your hometown lawyers, Bill and A-Bear. Give those guys and gals a call. I'm telling you, I'm going to take care of you. I'm going to try to get Mr. Bill on next week. Love him. Love when he's on the show, too. Very knowledgeable. I trust him beyond limits. But he's pretty clever. Pretty clever. That's that Army running in, man. Speaking of search and rescue and, really concerned about my peeps, keep sending out these alarms like, hey, where's Mr. Bobby? Does it Mr. Bobby? Baby. But I tell you what, Mr. Bobby, what's up, Mr. Bobby? What you got? Thanks for calling in.
Rich yourself, 97 for target, and you are target is what you were talking about.
Okay, I get it.
I tell you what, it takes a lean like Vance to not take no foot on the hand on that button yet.
I just put my finger on the button.
Anyway, Vance, he's a hothead. Look at his eyes. Not going to take
The beard hides the red
anything
cheeks.
off. Yeah, but anyway, I'd like to sneak into Saudi Arabia or China, see how that works out.
Exactly. Even Mexico. Go try it in Mexico.
Yeah.
Mexico has stronger borders since the president did.
Canada.
Well,
Can't you say, I don't know.
Biden's paying them off like the sergeant said, let a men to vote.
I think he's still president of Mars.
You ever had his IQ checked? I don't think it's Alzheimer's.
No.
Hey, who the hell knows? I don't know, man, but that is such a night and day difference between President Biden being sworn in and leaving. I thought it was a big difference.
The biggest thing, he's got hairy legs.
He does.
As Jamie reported in Hot Tub.
Just run his hands up now.
I tell you what, I like to take flight because everything without being.
He sucked that one. How's it going? Renee, what you got? Hey.
Yeah, so.
Hey, what's up, buddy? What you got today?
Yeah, because of violent crime, I'm all for reconstituting, for just breaking immigration law and minor crimes. But as a victim of a violent crime, I have them face, like, let me ask you a question. What we do with terrorists? Do we send them back to their homes?
Yep.
No, we put them in ghetto.
Yep.
What? Sending them back home with criminal or background and their moms. It's just like that one got killed. She got killed by one of these illegal immigrants that have been in and out the border. It's bad. It costs money for them. If they're bad, they need to be hanged, put in jail, and get more. It costs money to take care of crime because they're going to be looking borders when the Democrats take the country, was unfortunate reality because we have people that them back in.
Well,
that's wrong. They have to finish their dead ones and their rapists. That means we take care of criminals here and now. They don't go back home just to let her go back home. Gone back home.
All right. Well, thank you. Hey, I appreciate it. Look, I share in Renee's passion for sure. I share in his, his passion and his thought process on that. I think Trump's movie deportation is the right move. I think keeping them here the rest of their life. I mean, we got to pay for them. And if Congress really went to help codify the executive orders that the president has issued, I would argue that they're absolutely valid because Congress knows about them and tacitly has said they're okay. Mike Johnson's on the record. And we've seen Mike Johnson, constitutional expert. He knows. So what I'm saying. So hopefully, if we get statutes passed that would do that, would codify these executive orders, or I believe there's a way you can do executive orders and that would last a little longer or harder to repeal. I'm not expert on the area. Put it through.
Man, TJ uses it. I mean, said,
That's what it said.
it was me.
Come on.
If I'm not mistaken, I could have sworn there was something about GPT.
All right. All right.
But there's not.
Hey, I cheers though. Let's talk about crypto. We talked about it a little bit enough.
Mine's doing good.
Yours doing
Mine's
good.
doing good.
Hey, didn't Trump declare this week?
Maybe.
Crypto with the White House.
What does it even mean? I Trump crypto. Get it now. For a split second, I thought about it. 'Cause, I had me some DJ.
I think it was the get it now part they got me. All right, Jay Bryan at ABC News. Jay saying the house jammed up again. What? The house? No. This time over cryptocurrency. President Trump just struck a deal with Republican holdouts, but the floor is frozen until 3 big bills move. Not big, beautiful bills, just 3
baby bills.
Yeah. Baby bills.
Uncle Billy's Bible bills.
So it's I don't want to take it too long. These are actually really big ones. So Claire Act, the Genius Act, and the anti-CBDC Surveillance Act. If any of them to pass, that third one does. I think we have enough time. I'm gonna try to get through this. All right. So that's the crypto packet, and Trump's calling top priority. Thank you. So here's what's happening: the Clarity Act. That's the act that sets the rule of the road, sets the road maps, the guidelines, appropriately Clarity Act, but basic legal definitions, things like that. It also draws the line between cryptocurrencies, tokens, and this is a big one, securities. In short, it keeps the SEC from attacking crypto through confusion. Okay, a lot of clarity there. So, great name. The Genius Act. This says crypto developers and blockchain innovators can operate without being instantly labeled criminals. That's been the trend. Like, oh, what's that? Let's investigate. And it's like, you talk about due process violating. But Genius Act, it's a pro entrepreneur, and it tells the feds to back off. And then there's this one. This is a big one. If you have time, Google it. Anti-CBDC Surveillance Act. That's a big one. It bans the U.S. government from creating a central bank digital currency. Thank you, Lord. No Biden coin, no Fed coin, no government snooping wall. You're not going to have to Russia passed the digital currency, I think, 7 years ago. You want to be like Russia?
That'd about be the only I'd ever hear on any U.S. currency. And dang, soda machines keep rejecting it. What to do?
Yeah, it's my $3 bill. All right, so here's where. So if you House Republicans hit breaks this week, right? Not to kill bills, but to toughen them up. All right, okay, let's see here. So they want that anti-CBDC to be ironclad. I think that's a good tactical pause. You want to make the thing as ironclad as possible. So they was talking about he was about the border, but these are the things that you can protect future generations of America. You want that ironclad. Do not give those bureaucrats the power with one finger to press one button and mess your life up. Do not do that.
Why couldn't they be ironclad with national debt?
No joke. How about this? Don't spend what we got coming in. We got all. How many degrees do we have in Congress? How many juris doctors do we have in Congress? How many medical doctors? How many people with master's degrees, bachelor's degrees?
How many waitresses?
Yeah, hey, yeah.
AOC.
I'll tell you what. All those degrees, they can't subtract. Mad, but they can't subtract. But they can't subtract. All right, Speak Johnson's back rooms with folks like Bonald, Biggs, TG, hammering it out. That's where he needs to be. Yeah, they're right.
Lovers, beep, jeeps.
Look,
Got love some Lauren Boebert. Spicy.
Look, I like that we have a president that understands the moment, understands where we're at in history, and for the oldest president in our nation's history, he really is on the forefront of this technology, and that's pretty neat.
Think something.
I'm
done to know because
you know what? That's a secret. His ATP, hey, Doc Kevin. You see, I pay attention.
He's well grounded.
He's well grounded, and his ATP is high.
He's high energy.
High energy. Hey, guys, if you haven't already, I want you to go to raw.com. It won't take long. I promise. Raw.com, the Josh Guillory Show. Get a little follow. Check out old episode 5. All right, guys. Yeah, there you go. Thank you. We enjoyed our 2 hours with you like we do every single day. Be careful out there. May God bless you and be kind.